Friends, welcome to Biology Made Easy. Today in this video we are going to discuss the different types of agrochemicals and their effects. So as you are aware that during 1960s and 70s, Green Revolution was successful in India. Now what is the reason behind the success of this Green Revolution? Two things are responsible. One is fertilizers and the second one is pesticides. So let us discuss because both of them are coming under these agrochemicals, so we have to discuss about both of these fertilizers and pesticides. So the fertilizers are very much necessary because unless we give the fertilizers, how the plants will grow? Because gradually the fertility of the soil will be gradually depleted. So we have to give. But to combat this depletion of this fertility, we can give green manure, cow dung, all these things we can give. But these green manures, the cow dung and other the compost, that is if we use, it cannot supply all the types of nutrients required by the plants. That is why we have to depend upon this industrial fertilizers having the nitrates, phosphates, the ammonia, all these are required. But while using all these different types of fertilizers, that should be scientifically used. Sometimes farmers think that if we use more amount of fertilizer, there will be more amount of yield, but that is not true. And when we use excess fertilizer, what happens during runoff of water from these agricultural fields, that water goes to the nearby streams, rivers, and we take all those things. So the nitrates, phosphates which are usually present, they are either we take it directly or through the plants we take it. That means the nitrates which are present in the soil, that is absorbed by the plants, and that comes to the leaves, from the leaves that comes to the fruits, and when we take those fruits, the nitrates, they enter into our body through alimentary canal, then finally it reaches the bloodstream. And in the bloodstream, these nitrates, they combine with the hemoglobin to form methemoglobin. And this has more combined capacity with the oxygen than the normal hemoglobin. As a result of it causes several diseases, and one of the very important is known as blue baby syndrome. Blue baby syndrome, and it is quite fatal to the infants. So that is why we have to use these fertilizers in a very scientific and in a restricted manner. So that is the first point of our discussion, that is the fertilizers. Now come to the second point. The second point are the pesticides. Now why the pesticides are used? Because different types of pests, there may be insects, maybe nematodes, maybe rodents, maybe birds. So these are the different types of pests which usually attack the different crop plants. Thereby there is a loss in the yield. That is why usually we use the different types of pesticides, herbicides, insecticides to kill all these pests so that there will be no loss of the crop yield. But when we use these pesticides, before this industrial process, usually what were used? Usually before industrialization, the farmers, they use aromatic plants, so that the pests will be they will go away, because when they will come to the smell of these plants, they will go out. That was one method of controlling. Then after that, when the science was developed, then there was the use of the petroleum spray, and use of certain there's a plant-based chemicals. Plant-based chemicals were used. So after that, then there was the use of certain magic bullet. This magic bullet, it is a narrow spectrum pesticide. So magic bullet means a particular type of pesticide will kill only a particular type of pest. That is, for different types of pests we have to use different types of these magic bullets, so that will kill them. Then with the further advancement of science, what are the different steps? Let us discuss what are the steps in the progress of these pesticides. Now in stage 1, usually arsenic was used. Arsenic was used because this was also acting as one pesticide, but it was found that arsenic is very harmful to human beings. So this was replaced by the stage 2. So in case of stage 2, usually the different types of chemicals like the plant-based, particularly nicotine, azadirachtin. So this nicotinate is obtained from this tobacco plant. Azadirachtin, this is obtained from margosa plant. And these are all natural methods by which the different types of pests can be killed. Then in stage 3, usually the different types of artificial organic compounds, like DDT came into existence. So this DDT usually it is a broad spectrum pesticide, and when it is spread, it can kill lots of pests of different categories. So initially when this DDT was used, it was found it was quite successful, but later on it was found that some pests resistant to this DDT also came. Besides, it affected the human beings because through these fruits, vegetables, it entered the human being. So ultimately, one American biologist known as the Rachel Carson, he wrote one famous book known as Silent Spring. This is the name of the book. So in this book, the Rachel Carson, the name of the book is Silent Spring. In this book, he wrote what are the demerits of DDT on human beings. After going through this book, the government of America banned this use of DDT. So that is you to just imagine to what extent it causes harm. Then after this DDT, along with it, DDT, some other compounds like aldrin, dialdrin, these are also used. But the dialdrin, though it is a very good pesticide, it is usually 50 times more toxic. 50 times more toxic than DDT. So again, the use of this are not good for human health. Then come to the stage 4. In stage 4, usually the different biodegradable pesticides, and the biodegradable pesticides, usually these are organophosphates, organophosphates and carbamates. These were used because these are biodegradable. So they are more important because they are biodegradable. Because DDT is not biodegradable. So these were used, but again you have heard in the use of that is the methyl isocyanate, which was produced. This is a carbamate, and this MIC was produced in Bhopal, and you might have heard the tragedy that is known as Bhopal tragedy. So from this Bhopal pesticide plant, the gas was leaked, and nearly thousands of people died in that. So that is the use of different pesticides and what harm they cause. So this is about the different types of fertilizers and pesticides. Now the next question is how to control them. So next part that we'll discuss the control of the harms or defects. Control of So how to control the effect of these agrochemicals? Control measures. Now among the control measures, the first very important is use of organic fertilizers. That means, as already I have told you that organic fertilizer like the compost or green manure, cow dung, all this can be used so that there will be no harm to the human beings. And if we use inorganic chemicals, then the International Rice Research Institute, IRRI, Philippines has suggested to use mud balls. Mud ball. So what is this mud ball? That means the inorganic chemicals. If we have to use inorganic chemicals or fertilizers or pesticides, we have to put these inorganic chemicals inside the mud ball and we put in the field, so that gradually the pesticides and fertilizers will be leaked out, and at a time the entire amount will not be leaked. That is suggested by the International Rice Research Institute. That is number one. Then the second control is use of the biological control. So in biological control, usually we can take the example of that of the Bacillus thuringiensis. Bacillus thuringiensis. So Bacillus thuringiensis is commonly known as BT. So this Bacillus thuringiensis usually it produces a cry protein which is toxic to different types of insects belonging to lepidopterans, dipteroterans, coleopterans, and this gene, that is a cry gene which is present here, that can be introduced in different types of crop plants, maybe cotton, tobacco, rice, wheat, sugarcane, tomato, potato. You can introduce so that the crop yield is better. This is a biological control, and actually it is achieved. And you know the example of that BT cotton. Then the third, we can go for integrated pest management, and this is usually known as IPM, integrated pest management. So this integrated pest management is a combination of both biological control. It is a combination of both biological control plus chemicals. That means biologically we have to control, and to some extent we can use less amount of chemicals. So the both will be in a controlled manner can be used. That is known as integrated pest management. Then fourth is use of pheromones. Now usually the different types of insects and pests during their breeding time, they secrete the hormone that is the females, they secrete the hormone pherohormone which attracts the male insects. But suppose there is a crop field, and away from this crop field somewhere we'll soak some blotting papers in the pherohormones and we'll put it here outside the crop field. So the male insects will think that here the female insects are there or the pests are there. So they will be attracted to this place while our main crop is saved. So in this way we can bet the insects. So this is also one of the examples, so that is use of pheromones. Then another method is the maintaining the pesticides. That means we have to use it in a very regularized manner. Then another point is that is use of GM plants. That means usually the crop plants that are infected by different types of pests and insects. That is why if we can use genetically modified plants which are resistant to these insects and pests, then it can be controlled. So these are the different types of control measures. Now let us take one example, a case study of organic farming. A case study of organic farming. Now usually it is thought that the farmers are very poor, and most of the farmers they commit suicide because they cannot repay their loans. It is a very common outlook of most of the people. But there are some farmers who can earn millions of rupees from 1 acre or 1 hectare of land. So let us take the example of RameshPanda Dagar. RameshPanda Dagar, and that is Sonipat, Haryana. Now from 1 hectare of land, he has earned millions of rupees. It's an example. And he carried out here this organic farming, which is quite sustainable. And there is almost, you can tell, there is zero wastage. There is zero wastage. So what he did, he took several types of cultivations like beekeeping, agriculture, then water harvesting, dairy farming. So likewise he took different types of this agriculture, dairy, beekeeping, and the principle he adopted is there should be no waste, zero waste. How? The product of one can be used as a resource for the second one. For example, there is agriculture. So from the agriculture, whatever fodder will be there, that fodder will be used by the different in the dairy farming. And from the dairy farming, the different types of the cow dung manures, they can be used in the agriculture. And the bee, they can pollinate the different types of plants. That means the product of one can use. That means all of them are in a cycling manner. That means the product of one is used in other. And in 1 hectare of land, the organic farming was sustainable. It is a glaring example. And at present, he has 44 hectares of land he is cultivating. And he is an example. And he has formed one Haryana Kisan Welfare Club, where 5,000 farmers have become members. So this is a case of organic farming, which is quite sustainable even when 1 hectare of land. So our idea that farmers are poor, they commit suicide, that idea should not be there, because if farmers want, they can do anything. So this is the brief idea about the agrochemicals, their effect, how it can be controlled, and the case study of RameshPanda. Now let us discuss question. So we'll discuss one question. Rachel Carson's famous book, Silent Spring is related to first choice pesticide pollution, second choice noise pollution, third choice population explosion, and fourth choice ecosystem management. And this question was asked in AIPMT 2015. So I hope now you have very clear understanding about the agrochemicals and their effect. Thank you very much. God bless you. Have a good day.